Mm.
Man, but y'all, man, I've been telling you for years. I know you have to finish your book about yourself that you were writing, man. That would be some real hot shit. The game ain't ready for that.
You know, here's what we've been thinking, and I say we because, you know, a key part of the book. Don't get me wrong, I got all kinds of stories. You know, I've been in the pen, DMX. I didn't went at it with corrupt Roscoe. I didn't went at it with everybody that breathed. Trey D will tell you about me. I didn't even ran into Dre in my journeys. You know what I'm saying? But a big part of what you're talking about, which is something that really has to be told. You know, my story can be told, my life story can be told, but 1991 has to be told. That 121 felony counts, the biggest pimping case in
LA.
San Fernando, really LA, up unless you're talking about Heidi Fleiss.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else got 100? Who else was in the case involved with 121 felony counts? And beat it, and don't nobody know about it. Don't nobody know about the 16-man crew, the Beamers, the cars, the hoes, the houses. They don't know about it. They don't know about taking limos to shoot park and play basketball, scaring everybody to death. They don't. They don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna tell it. You know.
Tell that story. That's the hell of a story.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the hell of a case.
We wait. Listen. Considering where you've at and where you've been, we really been waiting because to really, you know, if I was to run into, you know, just say hypothetically, John Singleton, right? I gotta convince this dude who I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There's 1,000 dudes telling you that they Kimbo Slice and they done did 30 years and they knocking center blocks out of walls and all. I'm not trying to, no. You a nigga that didn't travel, you have better things to do than to sit back and tell a bogus story about some niggas. No, this is, you know, I'm just saying before, you know, we were headed, you know, they say 1.9 million in less than a year. That's the type of bread that was coming in. You know what I'm saying? You know, it wasn't no dope. It's all off abroad. You know, I'm not glorifying none of that. I'm just saying for the purpose of, you know, stories. If cats is getting money and notoriety and fame and stuff, then I feel like, you know, we should be out there too, you know, telling our story.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt. What books do you like now, man? Speaking of like street shit, as far as you're concerned, what would you compare the upcoming book that you're writing? What would you compare that to? That's been out.
Well,
Like,
look,
Ooh, I know who. What's
you-
old girl?
hold on one second. Let me think.
Hard.
Let me think about this.
Hey, what's old girl's name? That write the hood.
Terry Woods.
Terry Woods.
Frank is talking. Frank is talking about Terry Woods, and I'm gonna bring
but-
up a book about Terry Woods, right?
But,
Angels Revenge.
okay.
You know,
Have you read that?
I haven't read that one yet.
Okay. It's like, I think it's a trilogy. Basically, they selling dope and stuff like that. There, the closest thing that this would be like, right? And I can give you a script that this would be like. It would be like if you took the amount of money that they were making in New Jack City. If you took that amount of money that they were making, because I'm assuming that they were making more than $2 million a year. I'm assuming.
Go with Big Meech. 10 years, 270 million.
Well, just hear me out. I'm just saying the pace that we were on.
We right behind.
It was $2 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So it would rank in whatever type of hustle game
10 years.
that wasn't fictitious that somebody brought to the table that was making that type of money. But here's the deal. We talking about young niggas with girls. We know about old niggas with girls. We know about the bishops and all that stuff there. We talking about a story of young niggas with working class women. You know, or women that turned into working class. At that time, when you had 400-500 coming every 15 minutes,
Who gonna play me?
who want to go to work for 40 hours?
Who gonna play? Who gonna play Frank
you know,
Diddy?
You know,
That's what
that was the thing. You really didn't have to be cut from that cloth, because I wasn't. I came from New York. When this shit was going down, I was in sweatsuits and Timberlands. I just knocked somebody out to get in. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the only one that had on fighting clothes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else had on, rayons and silks and all that shit there, Fagatos and
Now, at one point, Kev, you did have your rayons.
Oh, I still hold on. Now I didn't say I didn't graduate to that.
You used to wear all the fly shit. You used to wear the,
Hold on, listen. Don't make this it. You see, hold on. Let me get out the way. That's just that's just some of the shoe wardrobe, shoe and hat wardrobe. It go around the garage like that though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I used to be in the closet looking at the gators.
Listen,
and the fucking silks and all the fly shit.
they over there. They right behind me. They right behind me. Yeah, they right behind me. They don't go far. I don't even feel comfortable if they get too far away from me. They like dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they need to stay inside the gate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hold on one second. Listen, let me tell you about my little show, right? Not my little show. It's actually the big show, right? But Joe, Fat Joe got the big show, Jopra. You know, and all that shit there. I know you done seen checking out Fat Joe. You know I'm from the Bronx in New York. Don't get me wrong. My whole family is from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Monster. I got family from Harlem I don't even know yet. You know what I'm saying? but we grew up predominantly in the Bronx. South Bronx was we first went to Jamaica, Queens. Like 144th Jamaica Ave. 50 Cent turned out to be from 148th in Jamaica Ave. But he's younger than us. So then we went to the South Bronx and we on 167th and Grand Concourse. Now, that's equivalent to, all right, let me take you in the Valley, because that's where we from. We know about there, too. Say, Kester. You're on Kester and, Victory, right? Yankee Stadium is on Van Nuys. You understand me? That's how close we is to Yankee Stadium. You know what I'm saying? And then we moved uptown to some high rises that they, it's called Tracy Towers. There's actually a following out of Tracy Towers. And I'd like to give a shout out to the Towers too. The Towers gang. We are the original tower. We had the Towers was two towers in New York that they built and put uptown in the 70s. And one of them was 41 stories. One of them was 38 stories.
Now, when did you and Frank move out here?
We were born actually out here. We were born in Riverside, at the Air Force Base, Riverside General Hospital. But our father was in the Air Force. Okay. So when I turned 1.5, Frank is older than me. We shot to New York. He actually came to get us for the weekend and threw us in the foster home in New York. He was mad at my mom and threw us in the foster home. It is what it is. So. So listen. So it take her about 6 months for them to find us, right? Because back then, you could do that shit without getting arrested. Right now, you take a kid, leave out the county line, they APB Amber Alert on you. Back then, you could do what you wanted, put him in a foster home, psychiatric place, whatever, and nobody could do nothing. So anyway, they took about 6 months to find us, and but we stayed there for like 4.5 years, and then we So that was confusing. That was a little, because let me tell you, the crazy confusing part about the situation was there was about 7 other foster kids there, and they were all dark skinned. So that was the confusing part. They were telling me that those were my brothers, but all these niggas was black as fuck. So I'm like, hold on, how these niggas is my brother? I don't look like none of these niggas. But I didn't understand the whole foster parent concept and all of that shit there. So yeah, that's what that was about. And then we went to South Bronx. So that's how that went. We came back out here in '79. Yeah, 79, 80. And I was 13. I think Frank was in 12th grade. He was at Grant. Yeah, I think he was in 12th grade at Grant. Yeah, so something like that. No, not then. Frank was in 11th grade. Frank was in 11th. Yeah, Frank was in 11th then. Yeah. So that's when I stayed out here. I stayed out here till the crack came inside the house. I stayed. So that lasted about. I lasted about maybe about 14, 15 months.
Yeah.
All right, about 14. That's when they started cooking up the half of birds in the gumbo pot. You know what I'm saying? The freebasing and all that shit. So I had to bounce back to New York. They tried to save me because I was the younger one. You know what I'm saying? Well, I had already caught a case though at Grant High School. You remember Tony Goodman?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tony Goodman went to go fight. You remember Sean?
Yep.
Tony Goodman went to go fight Sean. He came to get Frank, but Frank went home. I was there. So he said, come with me. He gonna fight Sean real quick, watch his back. But he had...
What did he fight Sean for?
I don't know. Hold on. Richard's three brothers. Scott, Richard, Scott. Oh, Scott. No. No, he went to fight Sean Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to fight Sean Smith. Right, I don't know. This is high school time. So anyway, but he had a 45 with him. So we go up there. I walk with him. Frank ain't there. I'm holding the bag. They gonna fight on Grant across in the parking lot. They get to squabbing. They see me. I beat up Richard's little brother for Frank. Frank got me beat up Richard's little brother. But anyway, we gonna talk about some more high powered shit. But let me just get this little story out the way. So I beat up Richard's little brother for him. But there was another brother who was a little bit older than me, a middle brother. All right. So when Rich saw me, he went to go get his middle brother who was older than me, bigger than me. So there could be a double fade going down, I guess. But they not knowing I got a 45 in the bag. So anyway, I wind up going to San Fernando Detention Center. Yeah. Now it's called Silmar. Back when I went in 79, 80, 79, they didn't even have no blacks there. They had me on my own wing by myself.
All the essays.
Yeah, exactly. Only kids that they had locked up was essays back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, a lot of black they weren't coming out to the valley yet. Everybody black was down in Compton, Watts, South Simpson still.
yeah, it's crazy because right before I went back to New York at like 13 or 14, came out here at 12, I went back at 14. But I was living on 3rd in Reno, right there by MacArthur. I used to go to MacArthur Park and practice my basketball game growing up. I didn't know it was the treacherous park that it was because I was from New York. So I was wondering why I wasn't no blacks on the basketball court but me. You know what I'm saying? And I see little essays my age walking through about 4 or 5 deep, but they didn't see no blacks like I never saw no Mexicans. So it was a standoff. We both just looked at each other. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's crazy that it would turn out to be MacArthur Park. Then I turned out to be there later on in life when they were digging bodies out. Black bodies, might I add. I had a period of time where I was in transition. I don't know, that's maybe the political term, because you might get sued for saying homeless or something like that. So I was in transition, right? And I found myself between MacArthur Park and Lafayette Park. This is back in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? I had a brief run-in with Sherm, and you know what I'm saying, and it took me for a little trip for a minute. So I was down there, with the Rebels and 18th Street. I just think about this place's chance in my life. I think I was down there for like 9 months, just freestyling it from hotels to, whatever, just crazy, But listen, okay. Let me try and stay, okay. So what I got is called, let me see. What's his name? Flex got 5 fingers of death. That's where they changed the record up on you, right? I got 5 finger foods of death. Cause I don't want to be sued for no copyright, right? No, I'm just playing though. But I'm serious though. I got 5 things that I like to try to ask, so we can have some type of structure, to my show. I'm not even gonna call it a podcast because I want it to be bigger than that. I want somebody to pick me up. I got dumb humor. Oh, hold on. Let me stop. Let me tell you. Let me tell you the biggest thing that's going on other than this. Right. Now picture this right here, right? I'm married, right? My wife is from Harlem.
Okay. Have I met you?
No.
I haven't met you. Okay.
No.
Okay.
She's also from Hoover.
Oh shit.
We doing a reality show. We putting cameras up in the house. I'm gonna show you the shit that I talk about before breakfast is even cooked. You have no idea. I know niggas think that they off the chain. I know that you think that Jocelyn Hernandez. I know you motherfuckers think she off the chain, right? Wait till they hear my wife and see my wife, and see how. It took me 3 years to convince her to let me film her, because I'm thinking about all of this stuff, how I can reinvent myself, and I already know what I already know what it was. It was the reality show. You got to sit back and see how we get down as we're also building on our property. I live in Lake Los Angeles. We're also building on our property, housing. I don't want to get caught up in anything to help out people in transition. So on the back of our property, we're putting up some type of housing to just help out, you know what I'm saying, with people, with help getting people off the street, you know what I'm saying. So we're doing that. We're doing Furman's Corner, which is the podcast, and the reality show is called A Different Type of Ghetto. We're a different type. It's gonna be ghetto, but it's gonna be a different type of ghetto.
So this gonna be about you and the family.
Yeah, no, it's no family. It's me and my wife. Frank come by with the bullshit every day. Frank lived down the street. So with the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Quick get rich. Yeah. Get rich quick schemes, you know, the whole shebang, you know, it don't stop. Yeah.
Know what you get with Frank.
Yeah, you know,
I was with Frank at a club.
Yeah.
Frank took off on the nigga at a club, and I don't know why. Frank just socked the nigga. Oh my God, we got ran up the club.
Yeah. We got it. They have no idea. My brother changed his name to Frank Nitty, and it's so fitting. It's so fitting. People don't know. It's so, you know, and that's part of my story too. To be raised by that mentality. You know what I'm saying? To be taught to throw dice before you taught to write a essay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga teach you how to mark dice or mark cards. You know what I'm saying? Before he taught me, we actually did an essay together. You know what I'm saying? And he very, very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? He went to the Bronx High School of Science. Could have got skipped. Who turns down getting skipped? That's a nigga with options. Yeah, a nigga with options turned down getting skipped. Who? Nigga like me don't know nothing about no shit like that. Yeah, listen here. I'm getting past. Hey, listen here. The only reason why they gonna skip me, right? Let me tell you why they gonna skip me. They gonna skip me because I done got kicked out of every class in the 9th grade, right? I go to schools that got A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3 classes. The good class, the mediocre class, and the fuck-ups, right? So I done went through all 3 classes, right? The only reason I might get skipped is because say I'm in the 9th grade, all the 10th grade teachers heard about me, and none of them want me in their class. So they're just going to let me go to the 11th. That's the only way that I was going to get skipped. Yeah. They actually took...
Are you still doing the thing where you were involved with the church?
Yes, I am, and Frank is, yeah, Minister Kev. Yeah, ordained minister, yes. You know, it was such a blessing. It was such a blessing, you know, that the brother saw something that, you know, first of all, let me acknowledge my bishop, Bishop Ronald Davis, brother from North Carolina. The most inspirational thing that I could sit back and say about the brother that I choose to assist me with understanding things of a different world. That's how I caught it. his ability to be poised in a line of fire. You know, that's one thing that I admire. And his drive to get to the truth, and his acceptance that there may be variations of it. You know, somebody that sit back and say that I got it and I know it, I don't want to fuck with him. Man, I don't want to. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. There's some knowledgeable people out there. There's some knowledgeable. They say some great shit. Some great shit. Some great shit. But, you know, me. I never wanted to be like nobody else. I wanted to be like me. You know what I'm saying? I might have wanted Jay-Z money. I might have wanted Michael Jordan basketball. But I never wanted to be nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but...
Let me ask you this, Kevin. What do you think, man? Because, you know, you understand how the street shit works. How do you look at what went down with our brother Nixon? Him getting taken out like that. How do you think that impacts just the street shit?
You know, now here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. I'm a New York nigga first, right? Let me explain this first. Even though I'm affiliated out here, you know, I'm affiliated with the gang out here. You know, OVG, you know, 818, you know, Valley. Anyway, okay, moving on from that. All right. But I'm a New York nigga by heart and by trait. Okay, all right. So, and I was a lyricist. You know, I'm in the golden years of my lyricism. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm saying that to say that I stay away from listening to niggas' lyrics. I more pay attention to niggas' swag. You know what I'm saying? I can tell a fake nigga with a big ass gold chain on. I can tell a real nigga in a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So, with his earlier work, I heard his name, but I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I was rapping, so all of the young cats, there's so many young cats that were nice that came after, you know, with me being in California, you know what I'm saying? But so let me, that being said, I didn't hear about him really till, I didn't really fuck with him until he died. So that's first of all. And then I started going back to where before the nigga had the beard. You know, 'cause when I first saw him, really, he had the beard. I didn't know there was a young nigga. But behind how everybody else felt about him, as I'm watching the funeral and I'm watching cats talk about him, and then I see what he did with... I used to live, just so you know, 1994, I used to live on 60th, and I used to live on 60th Place in Western. 60th Place. There's 60th, yeah, there's 60, okay. It's like right off. I mean, I can almost throw a Spalding and hit the Sloss and swap me. You know, so I didn't bounce around. I used to live on 43rd and Budlong. I'm just saying, I didn't been, so it wasn't set up then when I was living there. You know what I'm saying? But come to find out, you know, the movement, you could admire and appreciate, you know, how people talked about him. You know, I didn't know, you know, because you know my mom, right? And I didn't know how powerful my mother was until she passed. And then I seen, because let me just say this real quick. I'm going to get back to Nipsey. My mom passed, and she was a $35,000 employee at Farmers Insurance. When she, in California, no executive level, no nothing. I always felt she was the smartest non-degree having person that I ever met. I'm saying because there's some people that can use some technical terms that she wasn't familiar with, so that's why I say non-degree having person. But I'm saying that to be said. When she passed in 2012, 75 employees flew in from around the world for the funeral. People that were shareholders in Farmers Insurance that met her one time low-level employee at a, could have been a banquet, could have been somebody, whatever, somebody getting a watch, whatever. She could have been handing out the cake, whatever she said to that dude. That one time that they met, they flew back out here to come to the funeral. And that right there showed me this power of people. Not the power of people bank accounts. The power of kind people. You know what I'm saying? So, I got real life biblical stories within my family. You know what I'm saying? And that was another reason why I had wanted to get into spirituality, / religion, is because I had a hard time understanding it growing up. The thous, the King's English, and I went to a Catholic church, and the kneeling down, all the fucking kneeling and shit like that there. Couldn't understand what the white dude was saying, and all the shit there, and the white Jesus, and I couldn't, none of it, you know what I'm saying? So, if I wanted to get into it, I didn't understand it. Thou and thee, ain't nobody here talking about thou and thee, you know what I'm saying? So, so that was like, maybe it's a fictitious, all right, and then, and then something that I come to realize later on in life was something that I learned when I was young was the Lord's Prayer. And it was, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And you think about, and this is not just for me, but I thought about this before, but this is from my bishop. And it makes it seem like you're talking to somebody that's far, far away, don't it?
Yeah.
I need a nigga down here in the trenches with me. So that right there didn't get, so I'm saying that growing up and being in transition, God did give me comfort. Because what I was told is that he was somewhere else. He wasn't here. He wasn't inside me. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't know. So I walked around unknowing, you know what I'm saying, and lost and shit like that there. So, when and that's another thing that my bishop pushed. That, God isn't somewhere. He isn't somewhere it's a distant, watching. No, God is within you. Once you accept whatever higher power you want to choose to call God, we understand the Romans, and I'm not going to get all off into that. That's your specialty, and I'm not going to have you clown me because I can't hang out with you in no type of conversation because you study, nigga. Yeah. There's a different nigga. Hold on. And I don't know you in different parts of life. You know what I'm saying? I know. And this nigga here then went to school again.
Yes.
And probably still in school.
I'm learning from everywhere, man. I treat everything like a school. I learn everything. That's why it's called a university. The universe is a school. Yeah.
And that's the thing I like about my bishop. I'm gonna get off that. I'm gonna get back to my top. He welcomes. If you got something, and you think you know something, like you, he welcomes you. Please, yeah. He let you come up, schedule a time you can get on the mic. And some people ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna take the risk of you stealing their flock.
Yeah.
He ain't on it like that. If you got something that can help somebody, put it on the table. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can put it into a plan. So that, that's one of the things I like about him.
I'm about to get up out of here because it's dinner time. My wife is texting me for dinner.
One thing I want to ask you about before you go. One thing. Good. Okay. Joe Budden, because you fuck with all forms of social media, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that there.
Yeah.
Joe Budden, Charlemagne. Give us some one way or the other.
That's some heavy stuff.
I know.
I know Charlemagne. I've tried to know Charlemagne many times. I've been on the Breakfast Club many times. Charlemagne kind of made a point. But then Joe Budden, he made a point too. Because Joe Budden was like, look, I'm an independent contract now. I'm in years. So I go in the situation like a boss, so I'm not really an employee. So that thing, I get both sides of the argument. I get both sides of it. I like, me personally, I like being on the independent side of the game. I don't personally like being an employee. So I understand where Joe Budden is going to do. And I understand where Charlemagne is going to go. But Joe Budden gets these deals. He gets some sweet deals, and then all of a sudden the deals get kind of bundled up a little. So we need to know what Joe Budden is doing with these deals. We don't know. So So I'm kind of right there seeing both sides from different angles, and I can see the positives in both sides of the conversation. But it's very interesting. Now with Joe Budden, and he can write his own ticket. Joe Budden can go anywhere and set up shop, and he has an audience. So Joe Budden, he's in a pretty good position. So I would like to see Joe Budden really maximize that shit and just really get it popping.
But in regards to what he's saying in regards to iHeart developing a podcast division within, is any validity to that?
It might be. Now that I'm not sure. They probably are, because right now people aren't listening to terrestrial radio like that. People listen to podcasts. Podcasts, that's the wave. Everybody's listening to that. So now a lot of these major corporations are going to try to capitalize on that. So, I understand that some of the artists and the podcasters, they're trying to get whatever they can get out of it. If they can do these deals with these major corporations, they're like, well, shit, I'm doing a podcast. I can do a podcast in my house. I can go find sponsors on my own and get this shit out. So there's a lot of different ways to look at the whole podcast game in regards to some of these majors getting into the podcast. So it's very interesting.
Thank you. Right? I know I said last thing, but it's election year. We approach an election. I need to get a take on something. Trump, Biden, I know you got a lot.
But yeah, and I tell people in this election, unless they have specific tangibles for black people, sit out the election and wait until 2024, because we're going to have to weaponize our votes. If we vote for no agenda for black people, we're throwing away the vote. If they know that we're going to vote anyway without them doing anything for us, they're going to keep taking us for granted. Right now, our sister Breonna Taylor, they killed that sister out there in Louisiana, and not Louisiana, in Kentucky, in Louisville, Kentucky. No charges on the police officers. The city is run by Democrats. They're not doing anything about it. So we're going to have to put our votes on hold so that we can come up with other solutions in dealing with these people that are harming us out here in the streets. So it would be a more politically savvy thing to hold our vote as a way of punishing the Democratic Party, because we're already going to get what's happening to us anyway. So we might as well use our energy for something else besides putting folks in office where they don't do nothing for us.
Now check this out. I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do, and I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna do the Fat Joe called a Joker moment. You heard it here right now. We're gonna